Hey, it's Dave Brown here, host of Now with Dave Brown on AMI. Check out this latest highlight from the show. Assistive devices can have a real impact on people's lives. There's a new one called Guided Hands from Imaginable Solutions. Lianna Genovese is the founder of Imaginable Solutions and can tell you more. Hey, good morning, Lianna. Thank you for making time to be on the show today.
Hi, Dave. Thank you so much for having me.
So what is the core purpose of Guided Hands? What's the barrier it's meant to solve?
Yeah, so Guided Hands is designed for people experiencing limited hand mobility. So for those who experience spasticity in the hand, curling of the fingers, hand and arm weakness, or just the inability to hold and control objects. And I initially created Guided Hands for a friend of mine with cerebral palsy who loved to paint, but she wasn't able to hold onto a paintbrush because of her mobility in her hands. So I created Guided Hands, which is an assistive device that enables people with limited hand mobility to write, paint, draw, and access technology through touchscreen devices. So our mission behind Guided Hands is to really improve quality of life through promoting communication, self-expression, and independence. And that's my friend Jeff there, who has cerebral palsy and is nonverbal. And he had a lot of fun with Guided Hands.
How does it work? How does it offer some of that stability and some of that guiding for hands?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a mechanical device. So it has a sliding system that promotes guided hand movements as a user holds a handpiece tailored to their level of hand impairment. So we have different hand pieces designed for individuals who are able to grasp onto objects, who experience that spasticity in the hand, and it holds the writing utensil for the individuals. So these individuals experience, again, a lot of weakness and spasticity in the hand. So it's very difficult for them to hold and control writing utensils. So Guided Hands holds the writing utensil for the individual. And then that sliding system promotes the use of the gross motors in the shoulder rather than using the fine motor skills in the hand. So that's essentially how Guided Hands works. There's no electrical components. It's purely mechanical. Anyone can just pick it up and use it.
How adaptable is it? How much freedom does a user have to customize it to their own need?
Yeah, so really the most adaptable part of Guided Hands are the hand pieces. So we've been selling Guided Hands to hospitals, rehabilitation centers, where occupational therapists see a wide range of people of all ages and different abilities. So the hand pieces are adaptable and you can swap them in and out based on the level of mobility of the individual, and there's different sizes as well.
You
And
mentioned, oh, sorry, pardon me.
Oh, no worries. And I was just going to add that our utensil holder can hold a paintbrush, a stylus for tablet applications, a marker, pencil, whatever the individual would like to do.
You mentioned the idea was inspired by your friend Jeff. How much consultation did you do in the development of Guided Hands?
Oh, a lot. So my background's in biomedical engineering, and Guided Hands, it's human-centered design. And it's so important to work side by side with these individuals to really ensure that our product is meeting their needs and creating something that really adds value to them. So we've tested Guided Hands with over 450 neurologists, occupational therapists, and people with disabilities like Jeff to ensure that Guided Hands can really meet their needs and improve their quality of life.
And what's the feedback been like since it hit the market?
It's been awesome. Just seeing Jeff's reaction, even in this video, is just so rewarding, and it's amazing to see that we created something that could really impact someone's life. Again, it's being used with a lot of occupational therapists in hospitals and rehab centers where patients are actually using it as part of their rehab, especially people with spinal cord injuries who want to get back into writing and doing activities that really promote the use of their hand in that range of motion.
Zooming out to the work that Imaginable Solutions does more broadly, it's described as a social impact company. How do you want your products to make a difference?
Well, just even on the day-to-day, making a difference in enabling students in school to use Guided Hands as a learning tool to help them with their education, to really move away from the hand-over-hand activities and promoting that independence and confidence. For older adults, we love seeing individuals use it in nursing homes as part of their recreation, and then for adults using it as a tool that they can use when they're recovering from injury during work, getting back to using the computer, their phone, or tablets. So really just helping people of all ages and getting back to activities that were maybe tricky before or something new that they want to learn and pick up.
Certainly this conversation is about the work you've done in developing guided hands, but now that you've had this level of success with this product, what's the next gap in accessibility that you want to address? I don't mean to sound like a toddler here being like, what's next? What's next? What's next? But what are some of the other things that you're looking at?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many things, and I think disability innovation is so important, and we should really be focusing on it. Again, my background's in biomedical engineering, and we're in the middle of putting together an occupational therapist, assistive technologist, and people with disabilities group to meet every month and identify other challenges that people are experiencing in our community and see what we can do to innovate towards a solution for them. So right now we are in the midst of creating a version of guided hands that can actually integrate stabilization to help people with tremors, more so dampening the effects of their hand movements. But again, we're just trying to listen to our community and see how we can innovate to help them.
You mentioned that your educational background somewhat led you into this field, but was there an aha moment that you had, or was there something that particularly catalyzed you to move into this particular side of the field in developing assistive devices?
So I mentioned that this was actually, or maybe I didn't mention it. This was actually my first year school project while studying biomedical engineering at McMaster University. So we were actually introduced to a woman with cerebral palsy, and the project was talk to her and design her something that could improve her life or just make it better. So she mentioned that she had difficulties with doing the buttons on her shirt, using cooking utensils, writing utensils. But the one thing that really stood out to me was that she loved painting. But as her condition progressed, she wasn't able to hold on to a paintbrush anymore. So I created the first prototype of guided hands to help her paint. And that really introduced me to the world of assistive technology and accessibility. And I just fell in love with it, and I wanted to see how many others I could help. And I started introducing guided hands to more people, and I eventually had a little girl use it, and she turned to her mom and said, "Mom, I want one." And then the mom turned to me and asked, "How much is it?" And at that point, thought selling this never crossed my mind, and I knew that I created something that could impact someone's life. So a week later, I created our company, Imaginable Solutions.
Oh, wow, incredible. You mentioned there's a lot of excitement going on, plenty more consultation and developments. You may have perked a couple eardrums here in this conversation. Where should someone go to learn more about Imaginable Solutions or guided hands more specifically?
Yeah, so you can visit us on our website, www.imaginablesolutions.ca or .com. And we're always looking for individuals to test guided hands, give us feedback, just so that we can make it as accessible as possible for everyone. And we're actively selling our product on our website right now. And we're like Amazon, we ship in 1 day. So we just want to make sure that everyone has guided hands.
Lianna, this is incredible. Congratulations to you and your colleagues for the work that you're doing here. Let's stay in touch, and best of luck as you continue to think up great ideas here.
Thank you so much for having me again.
That's Lianna Genovese, the founder of Imaginable Solutions, joining you from Hamilton, Ontario. Do you want to dive into more conversations like this? Watch Now with Dave Brown weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on AMI-TV or download the podcasts wherever you listen. Do you want to dive into more conversations like this? Watch Now with Dave Brown weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on AMI-TV or download the podcasts wherever you listen.